traders? Another beautiful day in the neighborhood. What's going on, guys? Hey, I'm just gonna go ahead and see what is going on here in the markets. See if the markets can keep its hot streak or if it's cooling off. Let's take a look, guys. Right now, it's not really much going on. I took a little look at the market before I open up the stream here, and the preliminary looks of it is not doing too hot. It's not much volume right now, uh, but right now I don't have many on watch. It's got CODK Kodak, which doesn't have much volume, 32,000, and I'm really not interested. Really, the chart I don't really like it. It has too many moving averages here. You got the 200 up here at around 350. So I mean, it's one to watch, but I'm just not gonna really. I'm not. I don't have high hopes for it. Put it that way. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, guys, it's been. I think it's starting to. Well, I'm not gonna say what it's gonna do in the future, but I'll say yesterday and so far today, it seems like it's slowing down. But any given time, something can pop up, and that's what I mean when I said what I said in a prior video, which is, if you have a running stock, like right now, another stock that is actually running, but it's out of my price range is well, it was running PHAS. Well, now it's dropping off big time. But as you can see, it did go from $12. Actually, if you really want to count where it started, in the $10 area up to 17.60. So overnight, it did that after hours. But yeah, stocks like these are the ones that you want to look for. Not even that for the fact that it's for you to play it, but also for the fact that it is a catalyst for other stocks. So you should get happy when you see these stocks, even if you're in it or not in it, because it usually is an indication that it's gonna start. It's gonna start a fury, man. It's gonna start a fire under some other stocks. It'll actually drag some. It's almost like how the SPY works, or the Nasdaq, when it pulls other stocks with it, is what I'm saying. Is when you see the overall market trending higher or strongly higher, usually it's pulling other stocks with it. With a certain beta. That's another topic though, but. So this is a good sign. This stock itself is up, but it's starting to fade out. It's been on a sell-off. It's been on this downtrend here for quite a while now, actually, and as you can see, yep, it's heading lower. It's been doing that since about 6 o'clock yesterday. So yeah, it did jump up immediately after the market closed, based on, I'm assuming, news. I didn't look yet. Yeah, it gets FDA. There you go. I tell you, if you didn't watch it in my past videos, I always mention, look for the terms FDA inside of a headline, and make sure it's a FDA approval more so than anything else. But everything else, just when you see the word FDA, it usually it sparks a lot of traders to look into that stock and look to trade it. Just by the word FDA being in the news headline. Now, sometimes you have a FDA designation, as you see here. That's that's uh, that's not as much firepower as getting the FDA approval, obviously. Uh, for obvious reasons, you hear the word, you can kind of get. If you hear that phrase, you can kind of understand why it would be a little more powerful. If you hear FDA approval, that's saying something. Something is big, and that means you're gonna see a new product probably in stores shortly after. Because they have received an approval. But a designation is all right. It's almost it's to me it's akin to like a phase one, two, and three trial. So the designation to me is like the equivalent of saying a phase one trial of some type of research. Phase one is just the beginning phases, just meaning that it's in the works. It doesn't guarantee that it could be, it's like a flipping a coin. It's 50% chance that whatever they're researching is gonna be in their favor or along the lines of their thesis, or it could just completely fail. But once it gets to like phase three, with successful results, then you're talking, because that means shortly thereafter you're looking at FDA approvals and patents and all type of other stuff. So anyway, not to carry on with that topic, but yeah, PHAS is one to watch. I personally don't really trade stocks that high, like $15. I do. I actually just started trading stocks up to about $40, um, because I'm able to take about 100 shares. Um, and if the stock moves, a dollar, well, it has to move a dollar, you'll make $100. So, but I personally like to try to stick with stocks under $10, because I get more shares, way more shares, and obviously take way more risk, and you can make more. If I can get 1,000 shares, then all I need is, or if you can get 1,000 shares, then all you need is for the stock to move 10 cents for you to make $100. Now, if you get a stock that's where you can only get 100 shares, in order to make that same $100, the stock has to move a whole dollar, $1. That means like from 16 here to 15, or from 15 down to 14, or whatever, the other way around, 15 up to 16. I mean, and that's a little bit harder. Not to say it doesn't happen; it always does. But it's easy to hear what I just said and understand why you want to be able to trade a stock that you can get higher share size on. Not to say you're going to use all of your share size, but just to have that option, if you just are very convinced that that stock is going to go in the direction that you have set, then you can you can go all in. You have some chips on the table to up the stakes and up the chance of more money, or losing more money. But that's another topic. All right, so right now the highest volume stock though, that's under $10, is this ZSAN, but it's a stock that's gone down. But it has 129,000 shares traded thus far. This is almost 8:30. Um, that's the highest share. I mean, sorry, highest volume this morning for a stock under $10 with a low float. Anyway, you might have some plays with higher floats or higher or whatever, but yeah. So this one just fell off. I'm not. Gonna be honest with you. I'm starting to learn my niche and shorting. I do short, but this is not. I'm not too good at. I don't short. A stock that's already extended for on the downside. It may be a lot more room to go. Because some stocks you see just sell off, sell off, sell off all day long. So you definitely have opportunity there, but I personally don't like to trade those, because at any moment, you can have a short squeeze, or it could turn around, because it's so extended. You know what I mean? It's so extended to the downside that it's almost expected to have a bounce. Well, which it had a small bounce here, but it's expected to have that bounce. Now, see, if you got in down here, you would be down. Well, you would have gotten down almost 30 cents, or you would have gotten down 30 cents. Now you're down about 20 cents. So that's the thing about it. If you say, "Oh, I see it's going down," and you catch it here, you're like, "Okay, it's gonna keep going further down," which it still may. But look what happened though. If you would have got in down here, that's why I really don't mess with those. But other than that, guys, there's not much else on the scanner. I did trade yesterday. I was net positive. I mean, I'm sorry, I was gross positive, but with commissions, I took like 4 trades, but commissions had me down like $12. But I was up. My account was $24 up, but with commissions it was down $12. But actually, I made 2 trades. One trade was down $60 on that trade, and then the next trade I made like 85, $86. Yeah, so that's what put me in the gross positive, but I was net not positive because of the commissions. But that's why I didn't really make a video yesterday, because yesterday was similar to how today is. I almost didn't make a video today because it's just like it's nothing really going on here. So you know what I mean. I don't want to just be blabbering on. It's I just like to post when we have some good stocks running. But right now it's a little on the slow side. Um, never know after the bell. After the bell, anything can happen. But as of usually, the pre-market kind of is an indicator of how the day is gonna be going. Usually, now every now and then you have stuff that just pops up. At 10 o'clock, 10 a.m., and then from there, a couple other things pop up. But usually, this is an indication of how the day will be. But I will still say keep an eye on your scanners. Um, for the low cap side of things, I'm just gonna be looking at the scanners. I'm not right now. I don't see anything that I would put my money in. Now, the only thing that I do see, um, which I kind of like based on the technicals rather, is I'm looking at this NAO for a short opportunity. Short. Um, Based on what I see, what my analyst here, my analysis, but that's something still remains to be seen. It only have 3,000 shares, so I definitely wouldn't touch it right now. You have to wait for it to get over 100,000 shares at least to even think of trading. Because if you trade, the reason I say that is because if you trade any stock that's like, say for instance, 30,000 shares traded, or whatever the case may be, especially if it's 30,000 after the bell, then it just leaves the gate open for. I'm gonna be dead honest. It leaves the gate open for manipulation. It leaves the door open for market makers to see where you are, or either your broker, or some brokers have done this, but I'm not gonna get too into that. I don't need them coming after me, but it leaves the gate open for them to see where you are in your trade and then go against it or try to take you out, because there's no other buyers or sellers to really control the stock. Once there's nobody in it but you and the market makers, just about, because it's only like 10,000 or 3,000 shares traded, then they can see where you are, and then they can see, okay, you went short at, where is it now, like 317. All right, they see you went short. So if it's no volume, then guess what they can do? They can push it up to like 350 or whatever, just to get you out of here, and then they'll go down. So that's one of the reasons I say just stick with stocks that have volume. Stick with the stock that has volume. That way, it can still be, obviously things can happen behind the scenes, but now the buyers and sellers are more in control than anything. Buyers, shorter, sellers are really like they got a hand in it. They got a more of a say so in it. All right, guys, but that's it for now. I'm not gonna keep going on and on when there's nothing much here. But it may be some things pop up, but at the moment it's a scanner day. Just sit back, watch your scanners. If you don't see anything on the scanners, then don't trade. Bottom line, don't force it unless you see something that matches your strategy. But if in a market with not much momentum, I would just sit back, sit tight, because even if you have a strategy, usually without a certain momentum going, it might not have much follow through. So just keep that in mind, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.